I mean, if you're done with politics and you just want to be in charge forever by force, then no one can be allowed to contest the leader or to question the leader. Importantly, nobody can be allowed to offer any alternative source of authority to the leader. So there can't be journalists who know stuff and report it. There, of course, can't be opposition politicians. Are you kidding? There can't ever be anyone who runs against him. That would mean taking your life in your hands. There can't be law enforcement that does anything independent of what the leader wants. The whole government has to work entirely for the leader. There's no, government providing information and services like we're used to. There's no state. There's just the deep state, which is terrible and evil and against the leader, and it must be purged, replaced just with people he likes and who do what he wants. The government cannot have a civil service that has subject matter experts, because everybody has to work only for the leader.
We should be recommending you to be prosecuted. We should be writing a criminal referral because you should be prosecuted for crimes against humanity. You belong in prison, Dr. Fauci.
In the Trump era, in the Republican Party, this is what it's like to be the nation's most esteemed public health official, the nation's top subject matter expert on infectious disease. Dr. Anthony Fauci was the head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease for 38 years. He has a new book that's out tomorrow. It's called On Call, A Doctor's Journey in Public Service. And in that book, he says that in the, quote, early days of the HIV/AIDS pandemic, the aggressive hate mail that he got was, quote, homophobically motivated, criticizing me for wasting time trying to save mostly gay men who, quote, brought this all on themselves by their supposedly aberrant behavior. With Ebola, he says, the hate mail seemed to be related to the perception by white supremacist types that I favored black Africans over the health of our country. So that's the kind of hate mail he got in the AIDS era. That's the kind of hate mail that he got in the Ebola era. But in this era, in response to our most recent infectious disease threat, in the context of the Trump movement on the American political right, now the torrent of hate and threat is of a different order and a different magnitude.
It needs to be dealt with. The criminal gang leaders, the big heads of the central banks, Pfizer head, Fauci, all of them that lied to Trump, we know, created the disinfo, already had the vaccine ready years before they released the virus. They all need to go to prison for the rest of their lives. It is the right thing to do that they be executed. I'm not a wimp. I will volunteer. I think it should be public. I will pull the lever. I will say that. I don't have a bloodlust, but I don't want people to do work I wouldn't do.
In Dr. Fauci's new book, he tells the story of his decades in public service, serving 7 different presidents, starting with Ronald Reagan, helping lead the response not only to HIV and AIDS domestically and around the globe, but also to Ebola and also Zika and also SARS and also even the anthrax attacks after 9/11. It's a